My dear friends, hear me now, not with your ears, but with your soul. Because I tell you this with fire in my spirit and thunder in my voice, be prepared, for God's biggest opportunity is coming, not next year, not 10 years from now. It is on the horizon, closer than you think. This is not the time to slumber. This is not the hour for hesitation. This is the season to sharpen your spirit, to align your heart, to cleanse your intentions, because when God moves, He moves suddenly, and only the prepared will recognize His signal. Some of you have been praying, crying, fasting, waiting, wondering when your breakthrough will arrive. You've walked through valleys, tasted bitterness, endured silence, and yet your faith has not died. I came to tell you, not from my own strength, but with the conviction of truth. The silence was not denial, it was preparation. The delay was not abandonment, it was divine arrangement. What you're about to walk into will not compare to the pain you've come out of if you are ready for it. God does not send greatness into hands that are still clinging to smallness. He will not release power into vessels that are cracked with doubt. You must let go of the fear. Let go of the old identity. Let go of what they said about you. Let go of the chains you've worn like ornaments. God is not giving you crumbs. He's preparing you for a feast. But if your spirit is still chasing shadows, how will you sit at the table? There is a stirring taking place in the unseen. There is a movement in the heavenlies that eyes cannot see and ears cannot hear. It is the orchestration of your destiny. It is God aligning moments, conversations, encounters, even delays to collide at the perfect time and unleash what He has stored for you. But you must be prepared. You must live like you expect it. You must walk like the opportunity is already here. Your preparation is your demonstration of faith. God is not moved by lip service. He is moved by spiritual posture. You know why many people miss what God sends? Because they're looking for it in the wrong form. They want the opportunity to come as applause, as comfort, as convenience. But sometimes God sends the greatest doors hidden behind adversity. He disguises the blessing in burden. He wraps the opportunity in discipline. And only those with eyes of faith will see beyond the disguise. You cannot wait to feel ready. You must be ready. You cannot wait until it makes sense. You must trust that God's sense is higher than your logic. You may be thinking, but I'm not qualified. Let me tell you something with boldness. God never asks for your qualifications. He only asks for your availability. He lifts the humble. He strengthens the weak. He crowns the faithful. Your background doesn't scare Him. Your age doesn't limit Him. Your scars don't disqualify you. God is not choosing the most popular. He's choosing the most prepared. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, but those whose hearts are anchored, whose minds are sober, and whose spirits are awake. You don't need the world's approval when you have God's direction. You don't need man's applause when you are standing under God's assignment. But hear me well, an assignment comes with a cost. God doesn't raise up warriors in the palace. He trains them in the wilderness. He builds their character through rejection. He teaches patience through delay. He strengthens faith through battles. And when the appointed time comes, He unveils the prepared soul to a world that had counted them out. So you must ask yourself today, are you prepared for what you've been praying for? Have you been faithful with what's in your hand? Or have you buried your gifts in fear? Have you wasted time comparing, complaining, compromising? Or have you been sharpening your character, increasing your discipline, deepening your prayer? Because opportunity will always expose the prepared and the unprepared. And when God opens a door, He expects you to walk through it, not wander around it in confusion. God does not owe you another warning. He does not owe you another sign. He's already spoken. He's already stirred your heart. He's already whispered in the quiet moments of your doubt. And now the season is shifting The wind is changing direction. Those who discern the times will rise with the current. Those who stay stuck in the past will miss the wave. God is calling you out not just to survive, but to step into the divine purpose you were born for. This opportunity is not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about comfort. It's about alignment with God's plan. It's about being the right vessel in the right moment for the right reason. Some of you are being prepared to influence nations. Others are being shaped to restore families. Some are being molded to speak truth in dark places. This is bigger than you. This is not about making a name for yourself. It's about lifting up the purpose God placed in your bones before the world knew your name. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Stop waiting for people to believe in you. Stop waiting for the feelings to align. Faith is not about feeling, it's about focus, and your focus must now be laser sharp. Eliminate distractions. Purge the noise. Walk away from what weakens your spirit. God is not going to send His greatest opportunity into a life that is cluttered with confusion and compromise. He is looking for those who are clean in conscience, steady in spirit, and fierce in faith. You are standing on the edge of something you've never seen, but if you're still chained to what you've always known, you'll sabotage the door before it opens. Your new season is calling, but can your current mindset handle it? Will your old habits destroy what God is trying to build? This is why God delays, not to punish you, but to prepare you. He is kind enough to wait until your soul is fortified, your spirit is trained, your character is anchored. You cannot beg for rain and then complain about the storm. Sometimes God answers prayers in packages that require work, patience, and endurance. And only those who have learned to trust Him in obscurity will be trusted with visibility. He will not put power in the hands of those who crave attention. He will not pour wisdom into hearts that chase validation. You must be emptied of ego, purged of pride, and filled with purpose. Some of you are surrounded by noise, by doubters, by distractions, by unnecessary drama. And God is trying to get your attention. He's stripping away what you thought you needed so you can finally see what truly matters. He's removing people, places, and patterns that keep you stuck, because what's coming is holy. What's coming is sacred, and it cannot be contaminated by what's unclean. If you want to walk into the next chapter, you must be willing to shut the door on the old one. You've been through too much to give up now. You've cried too many tears to stop now. You've survived what should have destroyed you, and you think God did all that just to leave you here? No, He preserved you for a reason. He kept your mind when it was under attack. He covered your name when they tried to destroy it. He sustained your spirit when the enemy came in like a flood. And now is the time to rise, to stand, to step forward in readiness. But readiness is not passive, it's active, it's intentional, it's disciplined. You must prepare your habits, your attitude, your circle, your vision. Because God's opportunity comes like a wave, and you either ride it or you get swept under. You either move with the current or you miss your moment. This is not the hour for fear, this is the hour for boldness. This is the time for sacred courage, the kind that walks into the unknown, fully trusting that if God is behind it, no man can stop it. Your preparation proves your faith. Every quiet decision you make in secret is a seed for the harvest you will walk into. Every time you say no to temptation, every time you push through resistance, every time you keep going when nobody claps, God sees it, God honors it, and at the right time, He will reward it. You do not need to announce your preparation. Stay low. Stay focused. Let the results speak. Because when God elevates, no one can question the journey. Some of you are expecting God to show up in the same way He did before, but God is not in the business of repetition. He's in the business of transformation. And He's not bringing back the old version of your blessing. He's creating a new thing. But can you perceive it? Can you stretch your faith beyond familiarity? Can you believe in the unseen enough to prepare like it's already done? There are divine connections on their way, strategic doors, powerful partnerships, ideas that will unlock legacy. But they will only align with those who are in position. God is not going to force you into your destiny. He will invite you into it. But only you can decide if you will say yes with your life, not just your lips. Dust yourself off. Wipe the tears, silence the doubts, gather your strength, clear your space, refocus your energy, set your eyes on what's above, because something sacred is coming, something weighty, something that will require all of you, your mind, your will, your faith, your obedience. This is not the time to get lazy. This is not the time to drift. This is the time to lock in, to wake up, to move with urgency, because when God says it's time, no one can delay it, but you must be ready when it arrives. God doesn't need a crowd to confirm your calling. He needs your heart to be aligned. He's not measuring you by the world's standards. He's measuring your faith, your humility, your endurance. And when the opportunity comes, it will demand everything you prepared in secret. So don't despise the waiting. Don't rush the process. Stay faithful, stay focused. Stay ready, because God's biggest opportunity is not just coming, it's almost here. God is not looking for the loudest voice in the room. He is searching for the purest heart. The world celebrates noise, but God responds to truth. And if your heart is anchored in Him, if your motives are refined by obedience, if your desires are stripped of pride, then you are already being positioned for what's next. God does not operate by earthly calendars. He is not restricted by clocks or deadlines. When He speaks a thing, it must come to pass. But He will not release it until the vessel is fully surrendered. So I urge you now, search your soul. Examine every corner of your life. Where are you holding on to things God told you to release? What burdens are you still carrying that God already offered to lift? The opportunity He is preparing is not a casual blessing. It is a divine shift. It will require purity of heart and clarity of purpose. You cannot step into what's coming with yesterday's mindset. You cannot hold on to old wounds and expect new wine to flow. The space must be made clean. The heart must be made still. The will must be made firm. There is a sacred weight to what God is preparing, and only those who have allowed Him to forge their character in the fire of discipline will be able to carry it without being crushed. God is not just preparing a moment. He's preparing you to last within that moment. He doesn't want you to merely arrive at your destiny. He wants you to sustain it, to multiply it, to honor Him with it. And that kind of stewardship begins long before the door opens. You may be hidden now, you may feel forgotten, but in the stillness, God is sharpening you. He is pruning what cannot grow with you. He is removing distractions so your ears can hear Him clearly. This season is not punishment, it is divine preparation. The cocoon may seem like a prison to the caterpillar, but it is the birthing place of the wings. And some of you are in that cocoon now. The darkness is not your end, it's your womb. God is forming something within you that will soon emerge and soar if you stay in position. Don't underestimate small obedience. Don't belittle quiet preparation. God sees it, God honors it. What the world overlooks, God magnifies. What others laugh at, God breathes life into. Remember, when God decides to raise someone, He does it without permission from the crowd. He doesn't check the opinions of others before exalting a soul that has humbled itself. So do not seek validation, seek purification. Do not chase popularity, chase presence. Because God's opportunity does not flow through the hands of man, it comes straight from the throne of power. If you want to walk in the greatness God has ordained, you must learn how to remain faithful in the unseen. Faithfulness is not proven on platforms, it is forged in silence, in the hours where nobody is watching, in the moments where you say no to what your flesh craves and yes to what your spirit needs. That's where preparation happens. That's where spiritual roots dig deep. And when the storm comes, and it will, you won't be shaken because you've been built on solid ground. God is not preparing you for a temporary blessing. He is building within you a foundation that can host the eternal. What is coming will not only affect your life, it will touch generations after you. The words you speak, the habits you build, the choices you make, they are forming a legacy. And when God sends this opportunity, it will not just be a reward, it will be a responsibility, a calling to rise higher, a demand to live with intentionality and righteousness. The enemy knows what's coming. That is why the pressure has increased. That is why distractions have multiplied. That is why your mind has been under attack, your peace disturbed, your faith tested. It is not random. It is because the opportunity that God is preparing will change everything. And if the enemy can get you to quit now, to compromise now, to grow weary now, he can rob you of what was always meant to be yours. But you must not faint. You must not fold. You must remember that God finishes what he starts. This is the moment to dig deep into discipline. Fast when no one is watching. Pray when you don't feel like it. Study wisdom like your life depends on it, because it does. Keep your eyes fixed above, not on what is trending, not on who's ahead, not on what the world says is successful. You are not being prepared for temporary recognition. You are being prepared for eternal significance. And that kind of opportunity is reserved only for those who walk in reverence. Be aware, too, that when the opportunity comes, it may not look like what you imagine. It may come wrapped in challenge. It may demand sacrifice. But therein lies the divine test. Will you recognize God's hand when it arrives without glamour? Will you say yes when the reward isn't immediate, but the purpose is unmistakable? Those who are truly prepared are not seeking ease, they are seeking alignment. They are not chasing applause, they are chasing obedience. That is the kind of heart God can trust with something great. God will often whisper before he thunders. He will test you in the quiet before he elevates you in the public. You must treat the hidden seasons with as much honor as the visible ones, because your conduct in the shadows determines the weight you can carry in the light. Do not despise the days of preparation. Do not wish them away. Cherish them, steward them, use them, because when the hour comes, you will look back and realize that every moment in the waiting room was a lesson. Every delay was a divine setup, and every battle was a classroom for strength. I speak now to the one who feels like giving up. Don't. Not now. You are too close. You've endured too much. You have come too far. What God has been building is almost ready, but it needs a ready soul. And that means you must finish what you started. Don't just start praying. Build a life of prayer. Don't just start seeking. Make seeking God your lifestyle. Don't just expect a miracle. Prepare your spirit to receive it. Faith without preparation is fantasy. But when faith meets preparation, destiny is born. There is a wave of divine opportunity coming to those who have remained steadfast. God is about to shift people into positions they didn't even apply for. He's about to open doors you didn't knock on. He's about to bring connections you didn't chase. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. Not because of your popularity, but because of your purity. And when it happens, you will not boast. You will bow. You will lift your hands, not in pride, but in praise. Because you will know it was God, only God, always God. Let your heart be found ready. Let your thoughts be anchored. Let your motives be cleansed. Let your words be seasoned. Let your hands be diligent. Let your eyes stay lifted. For what God is bringing is too great to treat casually, too holy to walk into with a half-hearted life. This is not the time for lukewarm decisions. This is the time for fiery commitment. This is the moment to draw the line and say, no more compromise, no more delay, no more excuses. I am ready. Because when the heavens move, they do not wait. When God declares it is time, He does not consult your comfort. He invites your obedience. He calls your faith to rise. And the only ones who will step into the promise are the ones who prepared like it was already theirs. They walked like it was already done. They praised in advance. They obeyed without understanding. And when the curtain lifts, they will not be surprised, because their spirit saw it coming long before the world did. Be among those souls. Be among the ready. Be among the unwavering. Be among those who refuse to bow to fear, to doubt, to fatigue. Be found faithful. Because God's opportunity, His greatest release, is closer than it has ever been. And when it comes, only the prepared will rise to meet it. If only you could see what God is orchestrating behind the scenes, you would never waste another moment in fear. If your eyes could pierce the veil that separates time from eternity, you would see angels dispatched on your behalf. You would see mountains being moved that once stood immovable. You would see the divine puzzle coming together in perfect sequence, though every piece once looked out of place. God is not stalling. He is setting the stage for a divine unveiling. And what's coming will make every tear worth it, every prayer sacred, and every lonely moment a testament of faith. But here's the truth. God doesn't prepare opportunities for those who simply desire greatness. He prepares them for those who have disciplined themselves for it. Desire alone is not preparation. Wishing is not readiness. God responds to those who labor in silence, who purify their hearts in private, who choose the narrow road when the broad path seems easier. God is not fooled by outward displays. He sees the posture of your heart, and the heart that trembles at His word, the heart that bows in quiet reverence, the heart that yields without delay. That is the heart He will lift in due time. This is the hour where intentions are being tested. Not everyone will endure the weight of what's next. Not everyone will survive the fire of refinement. But those who do, those who stand firm, those who surrender everything that's impure, those who let go of what pleases the crowd and instead seek what pleases God, they will taste a reward that no man can fabricate. God is calling a remnant, a refined people, a purified vessel. And if you are hearing this now, it is because God is summoning you to prepare for something higher than comfort, deeper than ambition, and greater than anything this world could ever offer. And what is coming will not be handed to you in a golden box. It will be disguised as hard choices. It will test your priorities. It will ask you to walk away from what is good so you can embrace what is God. Some doors must be shut before the right one opens. Some relationships must be released before the right people enter. Some habits must die before the real fruit of purpose can live. You cannot walk into a holy season with unholy patterns. You cannot host the sacred while clinging to the superficial. God does not dwell where idols remain. This is not just about favor, it is about formation. It's about who you're becoming in the process. God is not merely blessing your hands, He's transforming your heart. Because if the heart is not right, the blessing will become a burden. If the character is not firm, the opportunity will crumble. And so, in His mercy, God withholds until you are ready. Not because He's cruel, but because He's a wise Father who doesn't give a sword to a child not yet trained to wield it. So embrace the process. Bless the wilderness. Praise God even in your delay, because it's in that secret place of discomfort where destiny is born. God is whispering secrets in the dark that will become songs of victory in the light. He is crafting within you a resilience that will shock even your enemies. He is setting you apart, not to isolate you, but to elevate you in the right time. You are not being forgotten. You are being formed. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every silent season has been a necessary piece of your preparation. Let me say this with clarity. The biggest tragedy would not be to wait and not receive. It would be to receive and not be ready. There is no grief like wasted purpose, no sorrow like mishandled favor. That is why God is more interested in your maturity than your moment. He is more invested in your obedience than your outward image, because He knows that the opportunity He is preparing has eternal weight. It's not a passing season, it's a divine mandate. And when it comes, you must be found stable, unshakable, immovable in faith. Many cry out for the door to open. Few prepare for what's on the other side. But the one who prepares with diligence will not be caught off guard when God calls them forward. They will stand ready. They will walk in fully clothed in wisdom, wrapped in integrity, and filled with the authority of one who has walked with God in secret. Do not envy those who rise quickly, for when the winds blow, only those with roots deep in God will remain standing. Now is the time to silence every voice that does not echo the voice of God. Turn down the noise of comparison, of distraction, of worldly ambition. Tune your ears to the sound of divine instruction. God is speaking now more clearly than ever before, not through thunder, but through stillness. Are you listening? Are you positioning your soul in such a way that God can trust you with His secrets? Because to whom much is given, much will be required, and the weight of what's coming will demand more than surface-level faith. You cannot afford to live on borrowed conviction. You cannot rely on yesterday's oil. God is calling you to draw from a fresh well, to ignite a fire that cannot be quenched by external storms. Your intimacy with God must become your fortress. Your discipline must become your daily bread. Your purpose must be more than a concept. It must become your compass. Because when the opportunity arrives, you won't have time to prepare. You will only have time to respond. And how you respond will be shaped by what you've been doing now before the doors open. If you've been building in secret, you'll be ready to rise in public. If you've been fasting when others were feasting, you'll have strength when others are fainting. If you've been sowing in tears, you will reap in joy. God is faithful to honor preparation. He is just in rewarding obedience. And He is merciful in keeping us in waiting until we are fully ready. So do not despise the waiting. Do not rush what God is perfecting. Every second is sacred. Every moment is measured. God does not waste your pain. He does not ignore your hunger. He does not overlook your efforts. He is storing it all in the vault of divine timing. And when the appointed hour comes, it will come suddenly, swiftly, and without warning. The clouds will part, the path will clear, the burden will lift, and you will step into what you've long carried in prayer. This is not the time to be passive. This is the hour of pursuit. Chase after the things of God with holy fire. Burn with desire for righteousness. Cry out for wisdom like silver. Build your days around obedience. Surround yourself with those who sharpen your purpose. Speak only what lifts. Walk only where peace leads. And give yourself fully to the process God is using to prepare you. Because your next chapter is not just about you, it's about everyone attached to your obedience. The door God is preparing is not ordinary, it's not seasonal, it's supernatural. It will redeem wasted years. It will restore what was lost. It will multiply what was once meager. But it will only remain open for those who are aligned with His will. It will not bow to pride, it will not open to disobedience. And it will not remain for those who hesitate and doubt. You must walk through it with conviction with boldness and with the assurance that God has gone before you. So press in, press on, refuse to settle, refuse to compromise, refuse to give your soul to temporary pleasures when eternity is knocking at your door. Keep your hands clean, keep your spirit soft, keep your heart lifted, because when God breathes, dead things live. When God speaks, doors open. When God moves, nothing can stop it. And when that moment comes, and it will, you want to be able to say, I was ready. And if you are not ready yet, then get ready. Because the greatest opportunity of your life is on the horizon, not born from man's systems or schemes, but delivered straight from the throne of God. God does not speak in confusion. He speaks in clarity. And when he declares a thing, that word is final. No force in the heavens or on the earth can cancel what God has ordained. What he opens, no one can shut, and what he shuts, no one can force open. But his opportunities are not random. They are righteous. They are not driven by luck. They are governed by alignment. You must come into alignment with his will to walk into the fullness of what he has prepared. There can be no divided loyalty, no half-hearted devotion, no spiritual laziness in this hour. You must decide who you are living for, who you are trusting, and who you are willing to follow when the way forward demands complete surrender. Too many want the promise but resist the purification. They want the breakthrough but refuse the breaking. They want the elevation but detest the crushing. But God refines his vassals in fire. He tests the weight of your character before placing the weight of his blessing in your hands. Do not mistake delay for denial. Sometimes God is allowing pressure to reveal if your heart is truly loyal to him or only loyal to the benefits of his presence. He tests the hidden places. He searches the motives beneath your actions. He listens not only to what you say, but to what you think. He knows the true desires you hide from the world, and it is in the exposure of those inner places where transformation must begin. God's opportunity is not just a chance to be seen or elevated. It is an invitation to steward his divine assignment. And God does not give such sacred responsibility to those who are casual with their calling. You must rise beyond mediocrity. You must train your mind to think higher, your soul to crave deeper, your spirit to reach further. Let the noise of the world fall silent in your ears. Let the applause of men become meaningless compared to the whisper of God. For when God speaks, mountains move, rivers part, and nations are shifted. And when he speaks into your life, everything changes, but you must be ready to receive that change.